love you. All the good times we had, I wish I could repeat them for the past 3 months. Love and feeling a little feeble. What's good, y'all? Welcome back. Today is a great day. I got a new desk. Yes, another desk. My dress is in the back, so But that being said, we're going to the incredible story of Kids See Ghosts cover art, Kid Cudi and Kanye West. This album was beautiful. I love this album. But let's get into the video. Let's see the story behind the album cover. 'Cause I don't even get the album. Like, I get it, but I don't get it. I want someone else to explain it from a different perspective. That being said, be sure to like, subscribe the video. Links to this video will be in the description below. And let's get into it.
So even though it only came out 3 years ago, the cover for Kids See Ghosts is actually 20 years old, and parts of it are based on a style that was pioneered over 1,000 years ago. You see, legendary Japanese artist Takashi Murakami modeled the cover off a painting he completed in 2001 titled Manji Fuji, a 9-inch by 11-inch woodblock print that looks almost exactly the same as the album cover, albeit with a psychedelic color scheme, a different aspect ratio, and 2 new characters taking center stage. The album cover is an iconic example of Murakami's trademark super flat style, an art style that takes contemporary pop art and combines it with Nihonga, a 140-year-old art style inspired by traditional Japanese painting techniques that are over 1,000 years old. I'm Philip, and this is Cover Stories. Right now, you can get membership to CuriosityStream and Nebula for less than $15 per year. That's literally $1.25 per month for access to exclusive versions of my videos early and ad-free, with new original content on the way soon. Kids See Ghosts was a huge breath of fresh air, not only for Kanye and Kid Cudi, but for music as a whole. In an era where more songs equals more streams equals more sales and better chart performance, Kids See Ghosts strongly rejects filler. It's only 23 minutes long with just 7 tracks. Short and to the point, you can listen to the whole thing over and over and never get bored, because they just didn't do too much. It's everything it needs to be, at some points full of revelations, hopes, and dreams, while at the same time focusing on the way both Kanye and Kid Cudi have been disconnected from society over the years due to their struggles with mania and depression. Kanye and Kid Cudi essentially serve as the perfect duo. They've been through the same struggles,
True.
but here
They
they're
really
at different
do.
stages, and they play to each other's strengths and weaknesses perfectly. Kid Cudi is, for the most part, the voice of reason for Kanye, while Kanye explores the deepest corners of his mind, misanthropy and mania included. People absolutely loved Kids See Ghosts. It was a huge hit. The deeply personal subject matter, grungy, alt-rock instrumentals, the massive excitement around 2 of the biggest rappers alive coming together as one. Obviously, such a huge moment needs an icon, something to represent its sound in the visual arena. And who better than Takashi Murakami? Takashi Murakami is a 60-year-old Japanese artist who was born and raised in Tokyo. As a young man, he studied at the University of Tokyo to become an animator, but he had a change of heart and eventually switched to studying Nihonga, which is a style that you might not know by name, but you've definitely seen. Nihonga is, besides the anime style, the iconic Japanese art style. Inspired by painting traditions from as far back as 1,000 years, such as those pioneered by Sheshu Toyo and Tencho Shubun, Nihonga modernizes their methods while staying true to the spirit of traditional Japanese art. When Nihonga first appeared around 140 or so years ago, it was as a reaction to the more Western-inspired yoga style that had become popular throughout Japan. The most common characteristics of Nihonga include mineral-based pigments, painting on scrolls and screens, and the portrayal of landscapes, birds, flowers, or scenes from Japanese history. Some of the most famous Nihonga painters include Hashimoto Gaho, Shunzo Hishida, and Yokoyama Taikan. Nihonga is also strongly influenced by painters of the Edo period, such as Hokusai, perhaps one of the most famous painters of all time, the man behind paintings such as The Great Wave off Kanagawa, Fine Wind, Clear Morning, Tenma Bridge in Setsu Province, and many, many more. Other painting styles that influenced the Nihonga era include Kanoha, Rinpa, and Murayama Okyo. Of course, as culture has developed over the last 140 years, even the pure art has been modernized. Over time, Nihonga artists gradually incorporated more Western shading and perspectives into their paintings, and today the differences between yoga and Nihonga techniques and materials are marginal, despite their once strongly opposed differences. In the 21st century, artists like Hiroshi Senju, Chen Wenguang, and of course Takashi Murakami are the modern-day masters of Nihonga. Murakami in particular has brought immense attention to Japanese art as a whole, in the process making a name for himself in the mass pop culture of the United States. After finishing his education, Murakami quickly got tired of the boundaries and limitations of Nihonga painting and started exploring contemporary art, which he also didn't like, believing it was too heavily inspired by Western trends and that Japanese culture had, in some ways, died after the defeat in World War II. Some of his first big projects were Hiropun and My Lonesome Cowboy, two sculptures that I can't actually show here because, well, you should just look them up after the video. Anyway, one of Murakami's big frustrations early in his career was that the Japanese art market in Japan wasn't big enough, and he felt he couldn't grow as much as he wanted to. His solution was that he had to leave Japan and establish himself as an artist in New York City, and then import his own art back to Japan to make a bigger impact than he otherwise could. Murakami wanted to make art that was uniquely Japanese, but he was finding that drawing from Japanese high art, as in Nihonga styles, was confounding and obscure to the contemporary consumer of art. So he turned to low art, anime and manga styles to express himself. And it was here, in the space between high and low, that Murakami found his voice. In 2000, Murakami introduced the art style that would come to define his career, the superflat. From artstory.org, Murakami's historic essay, A Theory of Superflat Japanese Art, is his ultimate expression of his early scorn for the art world. He articulates desire to produce a uniquely Japanese art form that is directly related to the long shadow cast by Japan's trauma after the humiliating defeat.
I'm sorry, but I just heard a lady say, "Oh, where you going?" And she was outside. Oh, I know. It's like this family, like a dude, father, mother, and their kid. They always park right around this area.
Defeat of World War II. This essay seeks to extract the very marrow of the post-war Japanese culture in order to utilize it as a foundational philosophy for his artworks. As writer Pico Iyer states, Murakami is a realistic chronicler of the flight from the real. And as much as Andy Warhol decided to give modern America exactly the glut of mass production and mass celebrity it seemed so intent upon with a vengeance, so Murakami offered Japan precisely the images it loves in its fondness for the kawaii and those deviant forms loved by the otaku. The Japanese version of this essay demonstrates a vitriolic anti-American, while his English translation focuses more on the stylistic evolutions of his works. In both versions, however, Murakami explains the concept of, as he describes, superflatness is an original concept of the Japanese, which has been completely westernized. In practice, superflat introduced a combination of traditional Japanese block prints and the mass-produced, overwhelmingly chaotic energy of anime and manga illustrations. Before long, Takashi Murakami had taken superflat art to the top of the mountain. He was making sculptures, commercial products like watches, keychains, shoes, and pillows. He was working with every fashion brand imaginable, from Louis Vuitton to Uniqlo to Supreme to Crocs, in the process, of course, flattening the boundaries between high art and low art. Murakami is one of those artists whose vision is so strong people will do anything just to own something he made. No wonder he gets along so well with Kanye. Notably, Murakami designed the cover for Kanye's 2007 classic, Graduation, but in my eyes, it pales in comparison to the iconic cover of Kids See Ghosts, which perfectly captures the superflat spirit pioneered so many years ago. There are three major elements to Murakami's cover for Kids See Ghosts, and they make it a true superflat masterpiece. First, the iconic ghost to the middle right of the painting. This element was digitally superimposed onto the print behind it. Upon closer inspection, you realize it looks like it was made in MS Paint. To the left, a completely different yet equally contrasted digital illustration of Mr. Dobb, Murakami's iconic character, stands with his arms outstretched. The traditional Nihonga style print is bathed in psychedelic waves of oranges, blues, and greens. In the background, the mountains and trees are dreamy, drowned in color, and shrouded in mist. They're barely there. In all, it's a somewhat confusing album cover. Basically reused from the 2001 Manji Fuji print, the added energy from the cutout ghosts and altered color scheme do a lot to make the piece feel more energetic and lifelike, whereas before it was all greenish and brownish. Not my cup of tea. As a whole, though, Murakami's cover for Kids See Ghosts is one of my favorite pieces he's done. There's something about the combination of old and new that makes every element of the whole picture stand out. The eerie, surreal, minimal landscape in the background is soothing, while the ghosts and characters are only small parts of the composition. In all, it's reserved without being empty. It's busy without being messy. Kid Cudi and Kanye are obsessive perfectionists, two of the most creative and outspoken artists alive, auteurs whose spirit has transcended music and, over time, turned them into a pair of living legends. And while so much of their careers has been spent in darkness, struggling with mental illness, personal tragedy, trauma, and at times, the overwhelmingly destructive power of their own egos, it was a dream come true when they teamed up to make something truly transcendent, an album of emotional rebirth, deep introspection, and in many ways, an attempt to start over and leave baggage behind, if only for a short yet beautiful moment. And knowing the incredible dedication that both Kanye and Kid Cudi have to their music, such a grand statement needed a grand work of art to go along with it, a task that no one was more qualified to carry out than Takashi Murakami. This has been Cover Stories. Thank you for watching. Anyway, let's talk about YouTube. As you might have noticed, I didn't...
Yeah, I get that right there. When it comes to monetization and all this and that, They just unblocked one of my videos of J. Cole freestyling, me just reacting to it, saying, yeah, J. Cole can rap. I fuck with it. J. Cole's my favorite artist. YouTube is weird when it comes to that shit. But I'm not mad. This is their platform, so I'm not mad. I totally understand. Make money any type of way you can. That's how it goes. I understand completely. But when it comes to the Kids See Ghosts, I forgot the dude name, but I've been a fan of his art. I used to look at his art all the time when Graduation came out. Me and my brother, we used to be like, yeah, we wanted to buy this keychain. We wanted to buy this painting, this shirt, this hoodie, and this and that when we was kids. I still one day want to buy one of his big old painting, like big old sculptures. That shit look cool to me. Where it shows like half of us, like half of a person, like a Mickey Mouse thing, and half of like a skeleton. That's cool to me. All the other sculptures that he made, all the other paintings that he made, is cool to me. I like it myself. I just say this: Kanye West and Kid Cudi saved my life from suicide, depression, breakups, all that. If you love me, why you let me go? Whoa, whoa. Run away from me, baby. Run away. You got to go crazy. That's in my life, bro. I gotta understand. These songs they made, albums they made. Louis Vuitton made it at no. Well, met it at a beauty salon with a purse Louis Vuitton under her underarm. She said, I could tell you style, I could tell by the strong. Something like that. Let's go with dick, okay? Now don't come at me, alright? Yes, I got a hole in my shirt, okay? Look, you see, this shirt was made when? My dad got this shirt when he was like around this age. My dad's like 50 something, so in this year, 1996, that's when he got this shirt. But yeah, y'all be sure to like, subscribe. Y'all tell me your favorite song from Kids See Ghost, and tell me how Kanye West and Kid Cudi changed your life. With that being said, stay tuned to the next video. Like, subscribe, and remember, everybody, chase your dreams. Like, real talk, chase your dreams. I bought this desk so I could write more, do more art, draw a little bit more. I have this whole mic, keep putting accessories on it, new stuff. I got this mic right here because I believed in myself. And I believe in a dream. I'm not trying to flex. I'm just telling y'all, if y'all work any job, save your money and invest in your dreams. Amazon got everything. Walmart got things you need. I'm just saying, y'all gonna see a big update to the channel. That's all I'm gonna say. Peace. Mario the poet.